What is up, everybody? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't know why every stream in the world starts out with that, but here we are doing it. Today, Matt Moscona did a Morning Scone, his show Morning Scone, and he put out a little hypothetical where he said he believed if Jim Harbaugh accepted an NFL job, who, he said that would be the Chargers, then Brian Kelly would become the main Michigan target and would accept the Michigan position as head coach and leave LSU with only a $2 million buyout after December 31st. I'm left with a lot of questions. I mean, I understand this is a hypothetical. This is something that Matt says he believes based on certain factors. But what I want to really focus on is why our fan base took a hypothetical shot in the dark from someone who admitted they have no knowledge of whether this could happen or would, has any wheels to it. And they take this hypothetical from a Nick Diaz post and turn it into an actual news story from which rivals can now negatively recruit against LSU with this type of, well, Brian Kelly's just going to leave. Mike Denbrock just left, and now the sky is falling, and, Brian Kelly's going to leave too. I don't know why or how our fan base did this, why they would turn this into a story when it is clearly not anything newsworthy. And now I'm seeing it everywhere where, LSU Insider says Brian Kelly is going to leave to Michigan. I just how have we done this? How have we let this happen? As a fan base, how are we letting ourselves get this worked up to the point that we make it almost easy for these rivals to recruit against us, when they just have to look at what our LSU media people are posting, LSU social media people are posting, and maybe I'm part of the problem as well. Maybe I've posted things that have helped the enemy as well, but I feel like those type of things have been subjects and stories that were my job to cover, to provide LSU fans with the most information possible, most news possible. And not just, voyeuristic, go into everybody's lives type of bullshit, but actual stories that affect the program, affect donors, affect alums, affect real students, affect student athletes, all of it. I've never gone for what I feel is clickbait or shock jock type stuff. And I don't think Matt was doing that here. I think Matt very clearly says that he is only speculating. But LSU fans turned this into an episode of Stargate where here is the actual proof. The sky is falling. Brian Kelly is going to leave. It was so Chicken Little of our fan base to turn this into a story. That tweet, just one tweet, has something like 300,000 views. How has our fan base become so frightened by all this stuff and so melt-worthy that we turn these things into actual stories? We let people like Billy Lucci, who all of you rip on all the time, but then you give his words credence. I just don't understand it. Someone help me understand it in the comments, please. Because you know, LSU have a pair of 5-stars we're going after right here in February. And you and I both know that this is perfectly timed to, Billy Lucci said that Brian Kelly was going to go to Michigan and all this stuff. Perfectly timed that to try and dissuade A&M guys from leaving to go to LSU, right? And now you've got this perfectly timed for people going after our 5-stars that we're pursuing here in February, who are late to sign and going to sign in the actual national signing day, not the early signing day. And it's some more negative recruiting material for LSU rivals. It's just, I don't understand what the melt is from. I understand that feelings are still raw over Mike Denbrock leaving, but this isn't a man you knew. If you knew Mike Denbrock, you had a relationship with Mike Denbrock and he left, you can feel bad about him leaving. If not, like, he's a football coach. He's climbing the ladder. Just get over it. He wanted to be a Notre Dame guy. He wanted to go there. He got paid. LSU left the door open for this to happen by not getting that contract extension handed to him way before December 6th and making sure that it was signed, sealed, and delivered. And I think you showed Denbrock that type of respect right out of the gate. He stays. But by not offering that extension until A&M is already pursuing him, that to me may have helped Denbrock made the decision a little easier for him, perhaps. I'm not saying LSU completely dropped the ball and they let him leave. I'm saying there's things LSU could have done to make sure if he left, we did everything to keep him. We've got a comment. LSU was up. Baton Rouge was up. Says forever LSU. Indeed, my brother, forever LSU. How you doing on this Saturday night? That's the thing too. If Brian Kelly were to leave LSU, we get a chunk of change back for him. Maybe we go for Dan Lanning. Would Dan Lanning come to LSU if Brian Kelly left? And that's the thing. I think it's actually we're going to stop right there. I don't think Brian Kelly is going anywhere. I'm going to say that right here, right now. We have no indications of that happening. Brian Kelly would have had to just go back on his word just a bit ago, where he would really doubled down on it and said, "This is my last stop. LSU is my last stop." And we've heard coaches lie before too. But he also, why would I back myself in the corner? Why would I say this for a soundbite? Like, he really went out of his way. So if he goes back on that word, like, the Brian Kelly haters will say, "We told you, LSU, we told you." But if Brian Kelly were to leave this offseason, would the last 2 years still have been positive and beneficial for LSU as a program moving forward? Yes. Will it have been disappointing that it ended prematurely like this? Yes. But some people, maybe they don't fit in Louisiana. Maybe their families aren't happy there. Maybe there's factors that Louisiana as an environment for them wasn't the best for them as the head coach. That said, I don't think that's the case with Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly seems like he wants that smoke. He's inhaling that smoke. And he's hanging out in the room with that smoke saying, like, okay, Matt House, DC, what are we going to do with him after the bowl game? You know, he's looking at all the puzzle pieces here. Joe Sloan, is he ready to be offensive coordinator? Garrett Nussmeier, is he ready to be my starting quarterback? Can we keep Charles Turner and Logan Diggs for another season? Brian Thomas Jr., I think he's probably out the door. I think you could probably say 99.9% he is going to be heading to the NFL draft. But we've got Greg Pentherd coming back, reliable linebacker for the most part, not really in coverage, but adds some much needed veteran depth. Sage Ryan, of course, news with that LSU Odyssey right here broke that. First, we broke that he was going to go to the portal, then we broke that he was going to stay, so it's kind of crazy. And I really like the linebackers coming in, the freshman linebackers, and I really like the idea of Weeks taking over and really ironing out a starting spot. Linebacker, I feel really good about. Safety is a spot we really need to figure out for this season. And I think some experimentation this bowl game, instead of just playing Major Burns, Andre Sam the whole game, that's not going to do anything for LSU. I want to see Kerry Cooks playing Ryan Yates the whole game. I want to see Sage Ryan moved back there. You know, so that's supposed to be his position. If you want him to be the leader of the defense, let him play his main position. See what he's got as that center fielder. And maybe it would have been smarter for LSU with our coverage difficulties this season to put two kind of more free safety guys at both safety positions. Basically have yourself two free safeties in a way. You can move them all over the place, whatever you want to do, but like, just because, oh, well, that guy is not as good in the box, like, I don't care. We needed that help at the back. We needed that help over the middle. We needed someone who get their hands in there, jar some balls loose. Marty Bergeron says, fan forever, LSU. You guys don't feel all, like you have to declare your fanhood like the ship's going down here. Like, LSU are fine. There's some issues about the collective, some issues about some funding, trying to get the NIL structure in place, all of that stuff. But Brian Kelly, I don't think he's going anywhere. In fact, I mean, I don't know. Nothing is certain in college football nowadays, but I would say 90% chance Brian Kelly's not going anywhere. Like, it would really take a lot to turn Brian Kelly off from LSU. And I think today, the firestorm that this caused does not help either. It does not help. It plants that seed, and it's kind of like, are you guys trying to fulfill the prophecy? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? And, you saw Patrick Kelly, PK, Brian Kelly's son, come out and say, you guys will just say anything on here, basically calling it fake news. The people I reached out to all laughed at it, scoffed at it, showed the logistic reasons in the way for why it wouldn't happen. But then, Matt Moscona in his show, he said that it only is a $2 million buyout this next season, starting on actually after December 31st. Right now it's a $3 million buyout, but then it would go to $2 million. So is it like a year to year? Even though it's a 10-year contract, is it like year to year Brian Kelly can opt out? Is that the type of contract structure he has? Very interesting questions about that contract. But at the same time, I think LSU fans have nothing to worry about. I think this got out of hand. I think it's a another demonstration of how social media can be used against your own program by your own fan base. The more people that liked and retweeted that Nick Diaz tweet, you guys put that into the news and on the message boards all over the place. And I get it. I get it. But it does LSU's recruiting staff no favors. And when you guys wonder why we didn't get that 5-star or didn't get that highly coveted 4-star, like, these are sometimes the reasons and the factors. These kids see this craziness and kind of go, whoa, is that something I want to see every game? Is that something I want to deal with every day? The media firestorm, the social media firestorm from the fans. We got to figure that out. As a fan base, we have got to clean that up, because it's unbecoming of what LSU is all about. LSU is all about swagger. LSU is all about confidence, and I didn't see a swaggering, confident fan base today. I saw a chicken little, scared, fearful fan base, and I understand it. I understand it to some degree, but there are things about it I do not understand, and will never understand, and don't want to understand. Be better with your reactions to these things. Don't be so crazed. Don't be so thinking the worst about everything when it comes to LSU because we lost one coach. And I understand we had the worst defense possible this last season, a Heisman Trophy winning season as well. We probably lost out on a chance to win a national championship, or at least compete for one. And we're keeping the same defensive coordinator. But let these things settle and take place. I'm telling you right now, there are things that are going to happen that are going to excite the fan base. There are things that may cause you to question things for a second, but I'm telling you, there are some home run hires that are about to be had. It's just time, okay? And that time is after January 1st. After this bowl game, you will start seeing the news, and it's going to be coming flying in, and LSUODYSSEY.com will be covering a lot of that stuff first. You've heard it here first. You will see it here first. So buckle up. There's some things to be excited about. There's some things to be curious about, to question, to, really wonder about as far as the direction of LSU, the program, and the university as well, the athletics department. But really, in a week where LSU had a major victory with the Sharon Lewis case being dismissed for what it is, a giant pack of lies, you had Frank Wilson going on the witness stand and actually dominating. Brian Kelly didn't have to testify. The thing was dismissed. That was a huge win for LSU. On the same day, LSU signed 27 of 27 guys from a class that I'm really excited about. Then you add Cohen Eccles as well to that offensive line group that is just a furious feast of offensive line, just brutality right there. And we put out a piece just barely kind of recapping everyone who signed for LSU from this 2024 class. Just put it on LSUODYSSEY.com. And we really like this class because it's Louisiana rooted. And when you have a Louisiana rooted class and it's just elite guy after elite guy, guys that were coveted by every school in this country, top program in this country, Juwan Johnson, Gabe Relaford, Kolaj Cobbins, Ahmad Brow, and then you add guys like Devon Keys from out of state, Colin Hurley as the quarterback. It's Tylen Singleton, an in-state guy that no one thought we could get. Joseph Cryer, another guy that we get that no one thought we could get. There was pickups here and there, flips here and there that were impressive as hell. I mean, Robert Steeples flipped a corner from Deion Sanders, Juwan Johnson. I mean, that's hilarious. Who wouldn't want to play for Deion Sanders, especially playing corner? And all he had to do was go out there and feel the snow, and Robert Steeples made sure to make that flip happen. But flip from Deion Sanders, crazy. And you're still about to add most likely Dominic McKinley to the group as well. So, I mean, I look at this class. I look at LSU's win in the courtroom legally against Sharon Lewis and that $50 million lawsuit. And I think LSU are in a good spot here if they can retain coaches, retain the roster as much as possible, add everywhere, get the right guys out of the portal, make sure you hire the right offensive coordinator, who I would imagine would be Joe Sloan at this point. And I imagine Joe Sloan's going to get that opportunity to really show his stuff. And you're starting to see some interesting changes from Sloan to the offense already. So we'll see what happens there. I expect some intrigue and some possible interviews Brian Kelly will do for that position. But we'll see who he hires for the offensive coordinator job. I don't have any information as far as candidates for that job right now, because I don't think there are some, giant search going on right now. What they're doing is focusing on coaching this team in this bowl game, winning this bowl game, going to 10 wins for the second straight season. And then you are going to see all those plans that they've been going over the last few weeks, last few months are going to come to fruition. Interviews, hires, fires, everything in between. And you're going to see it coming after January 1st. So buckle up. LSUODYSSEY.com will have that. This has been presented by ReleafMed. Get your relief today. Louisiana's #1 cannabis resource, right there at ReleafMed.com. Visit our friends. Contact them today. Get your relief, baby. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's been a crazy 2023. November of this year was one of the worst months of my life. Our son was in the hospital. Our dog of 16 years, Rivers, passed away. It was just crazy. Some car stuff. It was just I was sick with some type of virus that was just unbelievable. It was terrible. And those events canceled a trip to see the Florida game as well. So it was just layer upon layer of crap. But what I learned coming out on the other side of it was just an intense gratefulness for everything in life. And just, it was a very humbling experience. And it just has made me appreciate things a lot more. So I'm very grateful for that experience, as hellish as it was. I'm very grateful for all of you. I'm very grateful for this LSU football team, this LSU program, this LSU university that I am proud to be able to cover. I am grateful for this house I'm in. We have a roof over our head in the dead of winter. It's something I'm very grateful for. I'm very grateful for my amazing family. I just, I think as dark as things can be in the world at times, things can be very, very full of light where you might be ignoring or not or taking for granted. So look for the light and hold those you love dear, and really have an amazing Christmas this December 25th, this December 24th. Make it a magical time. I'm going to have a lot of fun watching my son kind of experience Christmas for the first time in a way. He's 16 months. So this is going to be really cool for us, for me and Chelsea. And everybody, Have a safe, amazing Christmas. Peace and love from LSUODYSSEY.com, and from our family to yours. Everybody, 2024 is going to be awesome. Don't let the crazy people tell you it's going to be a bad year and buckle up for lockdowns and COVID-19's coming up and all. Like, just put the negativity to the side, all the election talk and the political crap and all. Forget about that stuff, and I swear to God, you will have a happier life. Like, trust me. Everybody, Merry Christmas from LSUODYSSEY.com. Go Tigers, baby.